Welcome to our 2021 All-District Honor Band virtual concert of the Virginia Band and Orchestra Directors Association's District 5. Students and directors from throughout the Shenandoah Valley have worked hard the last few months creating this unique and innovative experience.
In a normal year, our students would travel to a central location, typically East Rockingham High School, in December to audition live and in person for a spot in this prestigious experience. At the beginning of February, accepted students who won a chair in the honor band would come together for 2 days at either Stanton High School or Harrisonburg High School, pending the year, to rehearse and learn from each other and state and nationally recognized guest conductors.
This year has been nothing close to normal. Our auditions went virtual, with students submitting video recordings of their auditions in January. Directors then took time to judge the virtual auditions, and the results were announced. In February, each of our 3 bands met on a Friday afternoon via Zoom for 2 hours. They virtually interacted with each other, learned from their esteemed guest conductors, and had special guest appearances.
This year's middle school band was led by Mrs. Tiffany Hitz, band director at Rachel Carson Middle School in Fairfax, Virginia. The high school concert band was led by Mrs. Carolyn Robley, band director at Belmont Ridge Middle School in Loudoun County, Virginia, and the high school symphonic band was led by Dr. Timothy Robley, director of bands at Shenandoah Conservatory in Winchester, Virginia.
The middle school band featured a guest appearance by Andrew Hitz, professional tuba player and former member of the Boston Brass. Middle school students also heard from composer Michael Orr, the composer of their piece Cyclone. The high school bands both worked on pieces of music by composer Alex Shapiro and were privileged to take part in a Q&A with her during their rehearsals.
It was important to our district directors to offer students this important experience during these difficult times, but to do so as financially responsible as possible. In a typical year, each student is charged a fee to cover costs of this type of event. This year, we sought donations from community members and organizations to fund the cost of the experience. We are proud to state that this event was fully funded by generous donations. A big thank you to our donors, including the Eta Omicron chapter of Kappa Kappa Psi at James Madison University, the Eta Rho chapter of Tau Beta Sigma at James Madison University, Shin Valley Band Instrument Service Incorporated, Dawn Wine Rupel, E. Ping Chang, the Everard family, Edward Savoy, Michelle Turin. Thank you so much to our generous donors for making this event possible to our students.
Each year, the band directors vote on a District 5 Director of the Year, and we announce the recipient of this award at our all-district band performance. We have already recognized our Director of the Year during our kickoff event in front of her students. However, we want to recognize Karen Doyle publicly as our 2021 District 5 Director of the Year. Ms. Doyle teaches band and choir at Lilburn Downing Middle School in Lexington, where she's taught for 27 years. She's a passionate teacher, a lifelong learner, and a supportive teacher to her colleagues within District 5. So congratulations again to Karen Doyle.
Hello, my name is Tiffany Hitz, and I had the incredible honor of being the clinician for the District 5 Middle School All-District Band this year. What an honor it was to be part of such a great group, and I'm indebted to my colleagues in District 5 for their vision for ensuring that students had the opportunity for this district band and for including me in the process. It was a real treat. Students, you were wonderful to work with, and it was great to hear your music, even virtually. Thank you for a great time together when we had the opportunity to work together. And I am blown away by the performance that has been put together of all of your parts. I know that you are as well. So thanks to Mr. Nesmith for that as well. I know he used a lot of his tech skills to do some magic in putting your parts together. But truth be told, the only reason he's able to put together such a great product of a performance of this piece was because you worked so hard. So thank you for working hard on your pieces, for supplying such great videos. Thank you to your teachers for helping you with this piece with Cyclone, but also for everything they've done for you so far. It's because of their commitment to you and your commitment to your instrument and your abilities and your drive that this was able to happen. So kudos to everyone. The piece that we worked on is called Cyclone by Mike Orr, as you know, and I know he's going to tell you about a little bit more about the piece, about how he imagined the piece as we discussed in our time together. But I love this piece. I've loved this piece for a long time. It's a really wonderful piece because it's programmatic, it's storytelling, right? It starts out with a little bit of calm and then it builds and it's very exciting. It has wonderful percussion parts, really driving and soloistic percussion parts. I love that low voices get this melody. Low voices don't always get the melody, but you got the melody here. And I love that everyone had the opportunity to work in D minor. So we got to work on those concert E naturals. I think it's also worth noting that the version of this piece we did is called a flex band. And Mr. Orr, among other composers, have done some reimagining of their pieces to help teachers and musicians and students during distance learning, or maybe during hybrid learning when you don't have a full ensemble in front of you, but you have some voices. It gives us an opportunity to be able to redistribute the parts a little bit. So if you listen closely, you might notice that not all the clarinets are playing the same part, maybe not all the trombones, things like that, where normally they would be playing the same part or a similar part, maybe just with some harmonies, and now they might be on some completely different parts. Again, I'm blown away by this performance, and I know you're going to be as well. Congratulations for all your work. Congratulations for your selection to the district band. Teachers, thank you again. I have incredible gratitude for the work that you did, and I'm just really inspired by you, and I'm inspired by your vision and how you reimagined this event so that students could still participate. Thank you for letting me be a part of it. I know you're going to love this performance. Thank you, and kudos to all.
Greetings to the members of the District 5 Virtual All-District Band. My name is Mike Orr, and I am the composer of Cyclone. And I just wanted to tell you a little bit about the piece. I mean, clearly, you know, it's about a storm, and, you know, it starts nice and calm, the calm before the storm, and it gradually builds as the storm intensifies. But it has ties to Virginia. In the year that I wrote it, you may recall it was the year, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, that we had an earthquake. And we don't really have earthquakes in Virginia. But that year for us, anyway, down here, I'm in Chesapeake, Virginia, down by Virginia Beach. We missed like a week of school for snow that year, which is really unusual for us to lose that much time for snow. I mean, it rarely snows 2 days in a row, nonetheless a week. Then, of course, we had the earthquake. And then in our area, we had this huge forest fire. We have the Great Dismal Swamp nearby, and it caught fire, and they couldn't put it out. And it burned and burned and burned until it was finally put out by a hurricane. So I figured, you know, we had snowstorms and we had earthquakes and we had forest fires and a hurricane. So that kind of gave me the idea to write a piece about the wild weather of nature, and hence Cyclone was born. A very piece of trivia, it was originally called Gale Force, and it was actually premiered in another part of the state. Actually, it was District 6. For their all-district band, they performed the piece first when it was called Gale Force, but the year it was being published, there was another piece out with the same title. So the publisher decided that we should probably pick a different title. So Gale Force became Cyclone. So again, I hope you enjoyed working on the piece. It was wonderful to say hi to you all, and have a great rest of the school year.
there, I'm Carolyn Robley, and I'm the Director of Bands at Belmont Ridge Middle School in Loudoun County, Virginia. And I had the pleasure of getting to conduct the students of District 5 concert band, their all-district band. And it was such a wonderful event, and the fact that we could perform for you virtually. So the piece that we're going to perform for you in this virtual setting is Off the Edge by Alex Shapiro. And the reason why I chose this piece is because I love the way Alex works with the sounds of the band and the sounds of the individual members of the band. She is able to create music that is absolutely unique and special. She incorporates electronics, and it opens our ears to a new way that band can sound. We were fortunate to have Alex join us in our kickoff rehearsal event, and she joined us from her composition studio on San Juan Island and off the coast of Washington State. And she showed us her studio and all of her cool technology that she uses for composition, as well as her gorgeous view out the studio window. Students asked great questions of Alex about the art of composition. And when we asked students what they think they will have taken away from this time of COVID and the pandemic, and what they will have learned from our weird learning settings, they gave us really inspiring responses, from becoming more adaptable to different situations in life, to developing more self-discipline and willingness to try new things, and my favorite, learning patience and how to truly hear someone. So, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoy Off the Edge by Alex Shapiro.
Hey everybody, I'm Alex Shapiro, and I'm the composer of two of the pieces that the Virginia District 5 virtual all-district band have been playing, Off the Edge and Passages. Off the Edge is just a fun bop. That's all it is. It's just fun. I hope you had fun playing it. It's just a way of bringing a little bit of kind of 1990s to early 2000s pop music into the band rep for something fun that I wrote thinking it would be kind of cool to be able to do virtually. That it's not the kind of piece that necessarily has to be done live. It's the kind of piece that everybody can play their part and have some wonderful engineer, as you have had, mix it all together and make it musical. So that's Off the Edge. I hope you had a good time playing it. It was really fun for me to write. You could almost hear lyrics to it, So I wrote it very recently, actually. It was written right before the shutdown in early January or so, 2020.
Greetings. My name's Tim Robley. I'm the Director of Bands at Shenandoah Conservatory in Winchester. I'm so pleased to be conducting the Symphonic Band in District 5 this year. It was a very different challenge. Making music in COVID times takes a lot of perseverance, takes a lot of flexibility, it takes a great amount of creativity, and I think above all, it takes a great deal of bravery. I chose Passages by Alex Shapiro because as a piece, it's a terribly different experience than what we usually experience in ensemble. A typical band piece sets out most of the musical directions for us, makes it clear what we're supposed to play and what each person's role in the piece is. This particular piece kind of reverses that. All of the decisions were set by the students. The way we were going to form the piece and shape the piece was determined by them in our rehearsals online. And then the musical decisions in terms of how they would play the lines, which lines they would play, the order they'd put those lines, and every one of the expressive decisions was really upon each student to set and make this piece special and personal to them. I'm really proud of how they took on the challenge and kind of leapt into the unknown of a piece of music that's very different than we normally get to play. So thanks so much, and I hope you enjoy Passages by Alex Shapiro.
Passages is a very different kind of piece, as those of you who played it know, because I'm asking you, the musicians, to make the musical choices, to decide where certain motifs go when. You get to basically co-compose it, and no two performances are ever going to be the same. I think it's kind of fun to have a cell-based piece, as we call it, where you're making these choices and everything lands up in different combinations, and magically it becomes a piece of music, along with that the shifting chords of the track. So it's sort of passages through different chords and passages through our lives. And it's a very calm piece. I wrote it very specifically during the pandemic. I wrote it to sound calming, to sound not challenging musically, instead to be soothing. There's plenty of stuff out there that's aggressive and intense. We don't need more of that sometimes. Sometimes it's nice to just have something to calm down to. So that's what Passages is, and I hope you've enjoyed playing it.